Welcome to the Love Sessions with Nori and Lily. I'm Nori, and my beautiful co-host is Lily. Hi, Lil.
Hey, Nori.
Hi.
Hi.
Love Sessions number 6.
Wow, number 6
Oh,
already. Awesome.
time is flying by. I mean, it's March already.
It is. Can you believe that? Mid-March almost.
hmm What a moon we had, too. The
Oh,
full moon over the weekend.
yeah, she always, I say it, she always kicks my butt. I get like no sleep at all.
I
But
know.
I love her.
I know. It was such a beautiful, beautiful moon. It brings so many changes. I mean, it changes the tides, and our bodies are, like 80, 90% water. So it certainly impacts us on so many more levels. I mean, when I worked in the emergency room, we could always count on something different happening during full moon.
Yeah,
So it brings so many changes.
yeah. It is proven, whether you're woo-woo or not. It's proven that like you said, the hospitals and police departments, fire departments, they all report higher activity during a full moon. So, yep, the intensity is real, folks.
Yeah. And last time, last love session number 5, we were talking about Venus in retrograde and some of the changes that could bring. And this winter is bringing some major changes in the Northeast, right? With the storms at Stella. That's
Yeah.
wow.
I've been seeing the reports on that. I'm in Florida, so,
So,
I got away from that, but I'm a New Yorker.
12 to 18 inches for you. So sorry.
Yeah, like, ooh, yeah, that's why I packed up my U-Haul and came down south.
I know.
But yeah, craziness.
So it's interesting though, because I was thinking about preparing for storms and what how everybody like goes to the grocery store right before it snows. Like how we prepare for storms and then I was thinking about, based on our last love session, like how we prepare for life's storms, the storms that show up, in our personal life, in our inner life even.
Wow, that's some great thinking there. And regardless of where you are geographically and whether the weather is affecting you, with the full moon and what we talked about last week, Venus in retrograde and some of the other stuff going on in the cosmos, people might be weathering some storms that have nothing to do with the temperature outside. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. And even people, that don't really subscribe to how the planets, impacting their lives or whatever. I mean, to say that we don't weather storms, whether big or small in life, I think would be an underestimation, right?
Yep.
And there are limitless reasons why they show up. It could be from trauma or crisis or everyday stresses that get out of control, or an expected or an unexpected change. I mean, if we set out to lose weight, there's going to be changes, and some of them might not. Some of them might need some tactics to handle them. A relationship changes, job changes, changes in things that go on with children and pets, and I mean, it's limitless. But I think the important thing, when I was really thinking about it, I was actually under the full moon thinking about it, is that we're not helpless when the storms hit, and I think that's important to remember, because they can come and we might not be prepared.
Right.
So it's just important to remember that once we recognize we're in a storm, that there's something that we can do about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, I mean, we could begin to prepare when we're not in a storm. I mean, there's a lot of people who do that weather-wise, right? They stock canned goods and things like that. And
Yes.
I mean, we can begin to prepare not inviting a storm, but to at least know that a storm may be coming, at some point, and have supplies, so to speak, accessible. So if we take care of our body every day, when we're not in a storm, eat well, take vitamins, supplements, if that's agreeable to us, so that, when the stress of a storm comes, we're pretty strong. I like to have like a secret envelope with money in it, and it's kind of like, break the glass for fire. And when I'm in a storm, I take that money and I buy myself something just as a treat that I absolutely would not have bought myself at any other time.
I love that.
Yeah, and not feel guilty about it.
I love that. I also think part of the preparation is when there is calm, when you are feeling grounded and stable, is do some reflecting on what you consider a storm.
Right. What is a storm?
Yeah.
Right.
And even we all have our different levels of what a storm is. Just,
right.
Some of us can handle some things better than others, and it has nothing to do on who's stronger or more qualified, but really get to know yourself and
right.
get to know where your threshold is.
Exactly. That's so good. That is so good.
Yeah, I think that's important. There's a saying in Spanish, se ahoga en un vaso de agua.
Mm-hmm.
They drown in a glass of water.
Ah.
Right? And
I
love that saying because we all know people like that, or maybe we are like that, where, even the slightest upheaval can really set us off or throw us off. Right. And it's important to know that. It doesn't mean that you're less or more or whatever, but it's important to know where your level is and where you have to kind of go into storm protection mode.
Exactly. And it's not right or wrong or good or bad. And, what came into my mind was Sophia Loren in that movie, what is it, Dirty Old Men or something? I don't know, Grumpy Old Men or something, where she's so fiery, like the littlest thing will set her off and her arms are flying and she's yelling and the next thing she's crying and then it's over.
Yeah.
So, and it doesn't mean that it's right or wrong or good or bad. It's just, and at different points in our life, the glass of water may be nothing. And at another point in our life, the glass of water may seem like a whirlpool.
That's true. And
right?
The most important thing is always, and what we talk about here at the Love Sessions, is always the self-love and just knowing where you're at.
Right.
And where your preparation is set, like you said, how many cans do you have stocked away, or where you might need to go do a little shopping and
exactly,
add to that. And
that's good.
And that's that. There's no right or wrong. It's just where you're at, because storms are always going to come.
Yes,
with the changes that we go through, and again, especially during a time like this where we're really pushed in a way to change and to look at things in a different way. So why not know where
so good.
Your level is? Yeah.
That's so good. And one of the things about preparedness that I was thinking about is to have a friend or a coach or somebody in the wings, so that if you hit the storm and the storm hits you, whatever, you've got somebody that you can at least say, hey, I'm in a storm,
Yeah.
And then some practical things. I mean, have you ever been in a storm and not known that you were in it? You suddenly you're whipped around by the winds and you're irritated and you're annoyed and all of a sudden you're like, whoa, wait, what just happened? And I think it's important to recognize that we're in a storm. Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's like sometimes we just click into survival mode or action mode or, taking care of business mode, whatever it is, that we don't even realize, like, whoa, this is a storm going on. And guess what? I'm handling it. Handling it. Or maybe I'm getting blown around by it and I need to ground myself and take care of myself, one or the other. But so many times we don't even notice we're in the middle of a storm.
Yeah.
So,
So now I'm aware of when things start to feel upside down.
mhm.
Like I'll go take a minute and go, is this a storm? And then I'll decide if I need to pull out my storm tactics and
Yeah. Is this a
break out
storm or
break
is
out
this
my
just some
preparation.
drizzling? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So some let's see, what are some things that help during breathing, right? You have your meditation, you talk about breath. Breath is
Breathing.
really good.
Yeah. I say that so many times to people. I say that to myself. Just breathe. Breathe.
Right. Yes.
Because we're breathing, obviously, because we're alive, but we're not conscious that we're breathing. And just that slows us down enough to go, oh, yeah, wait, breathe. Okay, I can do this. I can do this.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. And I mean, even like put taking yourself out of the spin cycle for a minute to actually lay your hands on your chest and your belly. I mean, that in and of itself pulls you out of the storm for a minute. Just to be aware. And I mean, and we could even use our senses as tactics, so to speak, like just stop and listen. I like to listen to the sounds around me, and I like to listen to them individually. I will identify different ones, then I try to hear them all at once, and when I do that, I usually go to sleep. I mean,
Ooh.
it's almost like a meditation for me. Yeah, it's like I fall
And
asleep.
sleeping is a great way to weather a storm. I love sleeping
Yes,
through thunderstorms. It's the best.
yes,
Yes,
yes.
it's the
Or
best.
scents, like a scented, just smelling a scented candle or an essential oil or coffee or food or what else?
Well, it's funny when I'm in a storm, or what I can sense is a storm going on. I will focus on a period of time in the future. If I can pick a date, or if I can just say, okay, once this is over, I will focus on that. And keeping myself focused on that helps me get through the storm.
That's good. That's really good because so often when we're in the middle of the storm, I don't know about you, but sometimes I'm so engulfed by it that I don't think that there's going to be an end to it, and that I don't think into the future. I mean, that's such a great, great tactic, Will. That
Yeah,
is really good.
it works. And it reminds me of, Gone with the Wind, Scarlett O'Hara. I love
Yes, I'll
her.
think about it tomorrow.
Yes, I love when she would say, I can't think about that right now. If I do, I'll go
Exactly.
crazy. I'll think about that
Exactly.
tomorrow. And it would
Oh my
help her get
God.
through whatever
I,
was going on. And it's,
I love that.
yeah, it's a strength to just, okay, I'm just not gonna. It's Do you ever watch movies where there's a storm or whatever's going on and people are running, like run, everybody's running,
Right.
and you see the one person that's kind of standing there looking at it like, oh my God. No, don't stand there and look at it, run. You can look
So
back at the storm later.
that's right. That's right. That's do something. Do
Yes,
something.
do
Right.
something. And that always helps me. It's like, just focus on something in the future, on the time in the future, and you can always look back and go, wow, that was some scary stuff we just went through.
Yeah. That's so good.
Yeah.
What else can we like doing things to soothe ourselves? Once we identify that it's a storm and we kind of pull ourselves out of the spin cycle, um, music, a shower, a bath, um,
Yeah. Anything
cupping
that soothes.
cupping your
Yeah.
face, right?
Yeah.
Touching your face, crossing your arms over your chest, or
Hugging yourself. Always
Mm,
hugging yourself. You mentioned taking a bath in water. Water is very soothing to me. Even just putting my hands in water or running water on my wrists will kind of
yes,
snap me back into wherever I need to
yes.
be.
Oh, I use the cold water on the wrists often. I
Yeah.
do. That's such a good
It's a good
feeling.
one. It's good.
Going for a ride in the car.
Yes. I love that one. One of my favorites, just getting in the car and going for a ride. Just clearing all the muck out.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Be or and once we're off the spin cycle and we recognize that we're actually actively trying to soothe ourselves, um, being in the moment, like what can I do right now to feel better?
Yes.
try and give whatever it is a new meaning. I mean, sometimes if you're in a relationship and you know the relationship is ending, but you know it's not the right opportunity to leave, you know, can you just give it new meaning? You know, so it takes the charge, you know, the emotional charge out of it for a while, or turn to your spirituality or religion or candle or ritual, whatever.
Yeah. Anything that helps you soothe or just kind of freeze the
Mm-hmm.
whirlwind around you so that you can reflect back and decide, make a decision, make a choice. And the decision doesn't have to be, oh, okay, I'm going to do this, 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 and this to fix it. It's just,
Right.
I'm going to survive.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And positive self-talk. This is temporary. You know, and I love, you know, I hear my mother saying this, you know, this too shall pass. I mean, I used to make
Yes.
fun of that, but now it has a whole different meaning for me.
Yeah. That's
You
one of
know,
my
or,
favorites too. Yep.
you know, I am smart. I am strong. you know, maximize your accomplishments, and that, like, that circles back around to the beginning where we were saying we're so not helpless. You know, that we're actually, even if we don't make physical preparations, we are prepared.
That's right. Many times we're more prepared than we give ourselves credit.
I like that.
And that it's, you know, you mentioned when there's a storm coming, people run to the stores and they
Yeah.
empty out the shelves. But how many times have they looked in the pantry and seen what they already have?
Right?
You
Like,
know?
oh, I don't need to go to the store. Wait a
Yeah,
minute, I have all this.
exactly. I'll be fine. It'll be
Yeah.
fine. You know, and if we run out of food, then, you know, we'll figure something out. So, yeah, just that. Like, just you will be okay. Remind yourself that you will be okay because you have been in the past, or else you wouldn't be here,
Boy,
right?
that's the truth, isn't
Yeah.
it? That's the truth.
So, yeah, this
I
too shall pass.
love it.
Yes.
And the one other thing that came to me, um, is if the storm involves other people, to depersonalize it. You know, if it's your boss, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, whatever, um, to not point a finger at the human, at the person, you know, but depersonalize it and just look at the behavior. Because I think, you know, when we kind of chip away all that emotional stuff and take it down to just the behavior, it's so much less igniting, you know,
Threatening.
insulting, threatening. What a great word. That's
Yeah.
excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Love
love
that.
that. Depersonalize it. I love it. Yes. Because, yeah, if the quote unquote storm involves other people, it's really important to, as you said, depersonalize it and see the behavior and see the bigger picture of it and where it is that it's a storm for you and what it is that you need to weather.
Right. Right. And can I look at that behavior as something different? Because there's a whole different story behind. He knows that I don't like a messy room, and he does it anyway. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? There's a whole different story between that and, oh, he's really been this way his whole life, and he's actually gotten better. Like, there's such a difference
Yeah.
in that. You
Yes.
know, and I would react to each of those so much more differently. And of course, I would feel much better with the second one, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Going back and going, this isn't about me, it's about them and what's going on with them. And I just get to decide how I'm going to deal with it.
Right. And that's what I love,
Yeah.
that we get to choose.
Right.
That no matter when they come, if we know they're coming, we know the storm's coming, we've chosen for the storm to come because we've chosen to make a change in our life, that we have the choice, you know, on how we're gonna get through it. And you can even create an intention when the storm comes.
Yeah. Whatever it is, whatever works, and we've talked about so many things here, but whatever works, the point is to love yourself out of feeling powerless and into empowerment and know
Yeah.
that you always are going to have a choice and you always have options.
Yeah, I love that. You could always listen to the previous recordings of the love sessions.
Yeah,
They're empowering. They're
very,
empowering.
very, yes.
Oh, I know. So, well, I have to go to the grocery store and get food for the storm. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't really.
Wow, that's fun. Well, are you going to be affected by this storm coming?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
I'm not. I'm in a place where it's going to be minimal. So,
Oh, okay, good. I'm
so
looking forward. Where I am, it's supposed to be thunderstorms tonight, so I'm
ooh,
looking
you
forward to
like that?
sleeping because the
Yes,
moon has kept me up the last few nights. So
I love it.
sleeping through the thunderstorm, yes.
I hope you have a delightful sleep during that storm, Lil.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Until the next love sessions.
Yes.
Yes. Bye,
I'm Nori.
everyone.
That's Lily.
That's me.
You all love you, Lil.
Bye bye.
Bye.